Hey everyone, is this a Roscoe? Is the Roscoe 6 actually a Roscoe? I don't know.
Dirty Forks!
Alright, so I got a couple comments, well more than a couple. I'm getting comments like, hi, how does this compare to the Marlin and the Excalibur? Was wondering which one to buy. So I get a lot of these comments. I also get a lot of these comments. 2022 Roscoe 6, you mean Excalibur frame with longer travel fork and wider tires, laugh out loud. That's not a Roscoe. Trek is getting rid of their old frames under this label. So let's just dive right in. How does this Roscoe, or this bike, compare to the Marlin and the Excalibur? Well, the Marlin is more marketed to be a cross-country bike. Like a starter, beginner, entry-level cross-country mountain bike. So if you're on trails that are more cross-country and you're not after the wider tires and you want the 29-inch wheels and that kind of stuff, and more of like a beginner mountain bike, that line is perfect. In saying that though, like Marlin 7 and Marlin 8. Marlin 8 is their new model this year of the Marlin. And Marlin 8 is very, very well equipped. I'm not going to go down rabbit holes of spec comparison. If you want to find out the exact spec comparison, I highly recommend and suggest that you do your homework, become educated in what you're looking at and the products that you're thinking about buying. And that includes going down that rabbit hole of specification comparisons between the models. But just know that the Marlin compared to the Roscoe is more on the XC side of things. They are all hardtails, the whole Marlin lineup. And you can't really go wrong with that bike if you're a beginner and you want a good, like a solid cross-country platform mountain bike. The other one is the Excalibur. So that brings me to my next point of actually the whole reason why this video was created is that comment about the Roscoe 6 being an Excalibur frame. Well, you mean an Excalibur frame with wider tires and longer suspension. Well, yeah, okay, that's true. This frame is shared with the Excalibur, or the Excalibur frame is shared with the Roscoe 6. Now, by modern standards, this frame is out of date. It has a 141 rear boot spacing. So that right away, for a lot of people, is a turn-off completely. It's a no-go, can't happen. Basically what you're looking at today for modern standards is like a 148 boot spacing in the back with a 12 millimeter through axle, and then it goes up. I did get a comment, it's like, well, Trek is misleading people, for Roscoe 6, because the Roscoe 6 isn't actually a Roscoe. Let's dive down that rabbit hole for a quick minute here. That is true, I would say. The Roscoe 7, 8, and 9, those are the Roscoes now. The Roscoe 6 was like left back in time because it didn't get, if you look at the specs on all the 2022 Roscoe lineup, from 7 all the way up to the new 9, they've got all brand new frames, different geometry, slacker head tubes, shorter chain stays, bigger wheel sets, 140 suspension in the front, like very aggressive now, modern hardtail trail designs. But the Roscoe 6 is way easier to find, hence the reason I have one. Also the price point on the Roscoe 6 right now starts at $1,449 Canadian. Are they using the Roscoe 6 to sell off their frames? Yeah, I think so. Because the Roscoe 6 uses the old frames that every Roscoe in the lineup had these frames, like last year. Let's move back to the Excalibur. So the Excalibur is marketed as an XC race entry level. Marlin, once you get into like the 7-8 Marlin, then that's a completely different bike than the 7, 8, and 9 Roscoe. So really, you're going to, if you want to go the XC route, if you're comparing the three lines, you're going to compare the Marlin to the Excalibur, in my opinion. And then it all just comes down to component specification and what you're really looking for in a bike. Roscoe, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that whole lineup sits alone. Higher number you get to, like when you go into the 9, you're looking at upwards of $3,000, like $3,000 plus dollars for a stock Roscoe 9. Like, ask these questions yourself and be really honest with yourself. A, how much money do I have to spend on a bike? Truly. 2, what kind of trails do I ride? And I'm not talking about trails you throw the bike on the car and you drive 4 hours down the road, because you might do that maybe 4 or 5 times a year. I'm talking about what kind of trails do you ride locally 90% of the time. You don't buy a bike for trails that you ride 10% of the time. Like, that would just be ridiculous. That's why you have 3 bikes. Anyway. And then the other question is, where am I at truthfully in my skill set for mountain biking? So me, I bought the Roscoe 6 because I had a giant Revel 2, 2015 the year was, and I upgraded that thing. I literally couldn't do any more upgrades to that bike. And it just came down to its XC geometry, and it's not really made for like crazy trails and whatever. So there's that. And then I had my fat bike, which I ended up selling as well. So I sold the Revel and the fat bike together, and that afforded me, it was a washout. I had the exact amount of money I needed to buy this bike. This bike can take 29-inch wheel set. You can upgrade, it has dropper, you can upgrade the dropper, you can upgrade the cranks, you can upgrade the bottom bracket, you can upgrade the wheel set, you can upgrade the tires, you can upgrade the drivetrain, the shifter, grips, the brakes, everything on the bike can be upgraded. It's just that 141 it's old now. So is the Roscoe 6 a Roscoe? I can't say truthfully that it is. It's not. It's a leftover Roscoe that got left behind. If this bike could cry, it would probably be crying right now. But when I ride it, it's happy. And is the frame the same frame as the Excalibur? Boy, it sure looks like it is. Would I recommend this bike to a beginner? Yep. Is this bike a really good platform, a solid platform to upgrade on? Yeah, I think it is still. Would it be better just to get the 7? Yeah. My opinion, my humble opinion, yeah. Please don't get me wrong. I love the Roscoe 6. I appreciate everyone leaving their comments. And it just sparks video ideas like this one. And see you on the next one.